National Aviation History Month is dedicated to exploring, recognizing, and celebrating America's great contributions and achievements in the development of aviation. Over the decades, there were many devices that elevated humans into the atmosphere. Plenty to celebrate. Here are a few milestone firsts in flight. 1783, first hot air balloon flight. French brothers Joseph Michel and Jacques-Étienne Montgolfier launched their first hot air balloon carrying a sheep, a duck, and a rooster. 1852, first powered flight. Jules-Henri Giffard, a French engineer and inventor, built the first full-size steam-powered airship, 51 years before that of the famous Wright brothers. 1903, the Wright brothers. Brothers Orville and Wilbur Wright pioneered the principles for the first powered airplane when they flew their Wright Flyer on a 12-second test flight. 1927, Charles Lindbergh. Lindbergh piloted the Spirit of St. Louis from Roosevelt Field in New York and landed in Paris 34 hours later. 1947, breaking the sound barrier, U.S. Air Force ace Chuck Yeager was the first pilot to exceed the speed of sound aboard the experimental rocket Bell X-1. 1961, the first man in space. Cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin was the first human to travel in space. His 108-minute orbit of the Earth launched the era of manned spaceflight. 1969, Apollo 11, first men on the moon. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were the first men to set foot on the moon. 1971, the first space station. Salyut 1 was the world's first space station that helped develop methods for living and working in space over long periods of time. 1981, space shuttles. The Space Shuttle Columbia blasted into space on its first historic flight. The shuttle program carried more than 850 astronauts into space. 1993, first woman co-pilot on a commercial supersonic plane. British Airways pilot Barbara Harmer was the first woman to fly as first officer on the Concorde from London to New York City. 2005, first non-stop solo flight around the world without refueling. Steve Fawcett flew aboard the Virgin Atlantic Global Flyer for almost 23,000 miles around the world, clocking 67 hours. 2019, first all-female spacewalk. Astronauts Christina Koch and Jessica Meir floated into the history books when they became NASA's first all-female spacewalk.